Where do you work, Peter?
In a tech.
And yeah, what do you do there?
I sit in a cubicle.
Living's far away. Never come.
Call me or anything, but today very big broken you pay up.
I don't like my job, and I don't think I'm gonna go anymore.
Quitting my job was the best decision I ever made. Second best decision. Allow me to share how and why I quit my job at 23 years old. I did the entire traditional American route: go to school, study hard, get good grades, make a good network, do your internships, find your job, and then do that for 40 years. But about 3 months into my full-time job, sitting in a beige box, I felt like I couldn't breathe. I'm a creator at heart. I love being creative in every way, building things, starting new projects, making content especially. And the job I was working was just draining all of that creativity out of me. I live in Wisconsin, so when I got into the office, it was dark, and when I left the office, it was dark. I saw no sunlight. There was no windows in my office. I know I'm making this sound like it's some terrible thing. It wasn't a bad job. It was a good job objectively for somebody just out of college. But it wasn't the job for me. I knew that I couldn't work 40 hours a week at a job that could replace me in seconds, and I'm sure a lot of this is sounding very relatable to you. So I made the decision to invest into myself. I put a lot of money into courses, coaching, mentorship, anything that could give me some information on how I could change my life. I spent every extra second of my day either learning or doing. That meant every lunch break I was getting on sales calls, building my business, finding clients, anything that could help me build some income that would allow me to quit my job. Within just a few months, all of this work, all of this time, all of this money paid off. In the same time that I got my 3% yearly inflation raise, which equates to about $3,000, I built my business to over $10,000 a month.
What if we're still doing this when we're 50?
And I knew if I had 40 hours of my week back, I'd be a lot happier, and I could invest that time into myself. There are a few books that really shaped my business mind, one being The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. One of the big philosophies that he has is earning with your mind and not your time. This is the end goal for most of us creative people. The problem that holds most of us back from making significant progress is that we have an end goal and we have everything in between, and we focus on just the end goal. I'll be rich once I have 100,000 followers. I'll eat good once I'm jacked. It's the same thing as saying I'll go to the hospital when I'm healthy. You can't skip the middle. So what was the middle for my business, and how did I build it? As I mentioned before, I love creating content, and most businesses suck at this. When you have a business, you have to decide, is this B2B or B2C? For example, you could be a real estate photographer or a senior portrait photographer. One has a monetary return on investment, and the other has an emotional/product return on investment. This difference will drastically change the perceived value of your service, aka how much you can charge. B2B services are by far the easiest to scale in the short term to make a good living. You can start today, right now, with almost no experience. You have to have a good enough skill for someone to invest in you, but that level of profession is very subjective. There's literally no perfect time to start. If you're like me, I built this skill by creating content for myself. I knew how to make content for myself, therefore I knew how to make content for other people. If you have no experience freelancing, start for free. Build a portfolio, build some good relationships with potential future clients, get some testimonials, and then start to charge. You can make case studies. For example, if you're into graphic design, redesign a popular brand's logo or website, anything to kind of put your work out there. I can't tell you the amount of high-paying clients I've landed simply by starting for free and building good rapport and relationship. This is not a new concept. This is a tried and true concept that works for a lot of businesses. Then comes charging for your services. You have to sell to sell. Pretty self-explanatory. If you don't want to be a broke creative, you need to learn how to sell. And the number one thing I can tell you is charging less isn't the best. There was a study done on a group to taste 3 different wines from 3 different price ranges: cheap, middle, and expensive. Everybody rated the expensive as the best tasting wine. The caveat, every single wine that they tasted was the cheap wine. So what does this tell us? Well, we perceive expensive as valuable. Think fast food versus luxury restaurant. Do you want your business to be the equivalent of McDonald's or a 3-star Michelin? Your pricing and presentation will determine most of this, and your product or service should also reflect this. Don't sell a lemon to somebody, but don't underprice yourself. I saw a story once of this guy wanting to sell his trailer, so he puts it up on Facebook Marketplace for $600. Within an hour, somebody came and grabbed it. Later that week, he saw his same trailer posted on Facebook Marketplace, sold for $6,000. The worst thing to hear from a client is a quick yes. As backwards as that sounds, it could mean that you're leaving money on the table. Getting clients is great, but if we're trying to scale, we don't want more clients, we want more expensive clients. I'd rather have 10 $6,000 clients than 600 $100 clients. Most of the time, you're actually hurting your chances of making a sale by being so cheap. Think of when you shop on Amazon. Do you always pick the cheapest thing? Probably not. You'll likely find the option that has Amazon Prime and 500 5-star reviews. This is important. That is what we're aiming for. Not cheap, but quality. I quickly want to share the second half of how I was able to quit my job. A week after my last day at my job, one of my first reels went viral. It got 700,000 views, I gained 30,000 followers within a month, and I only kept growing. This was my chance to apply Naval Ravikant's knowledge and start earning with my mind instead of my time. I kept growing, and I just kept creating content that I was actually passionate about. Beyond that, I share knowledge and experience with my business so I can help others build a business just like I did. And now that's what I do. I coach creative entrepreneurs who have a creative passion that they want to make money with. I'll be making more videos on this soon, but I just wanted to share my journey, and I'm going to continue to build this project in public so that you can see exactly how this is achievable. For all of you who made it to the end of this video, God bless you. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here, and I hope that you stay.